How's it going, everyone? I am back with another video. This is going to be my Week 16 Patriots takeaways video, where I'm going to go through the game the Patriots had last night against the Ravens on Sunday Night Football, break down my takeaways, general thoughts, all that good stuff. So, just in general, I'm very ecstatic. Very ecstatic. Was very much looking forward to recording this video, unlike last week. Last week I was like dreading recording the video because that was a painful game. Not so much here. I'm very ecstatic. I'm very happy at the moment. Oh, my heart rate at the end of the game was through the roof. Oh my God. I can't believe we won. Can't believe we won. Very happy we did. Um, so yeah, just general thoughts. Just the team making that comeback is such a good reflection on Mike Vrabel's leadership and the culture he's instilled in the team. We very easily could have folded down 11 in the fourth quarter, coming off a game against Buffalo last week where we were up 21-0 and then 24-7 at the half, and we lost. Down 11, we easily could have folded. If this was, and I don't mean to take a shot at Gerard Mayo here, but if this was a Gerard Mayo-led team, we would have folded. Except you see Diggs on the sideline, down 11, the drive before we scored the touchdown, our first touchdown in the fourth quarter, just saying, just takes one play at a time, hyping the guys up. And very calmly, we worked our way down the field. May hits Kyle Williams for an absolute dime of a touchdown. And I'm like, we get a chance. We get a chance. That better light a fire under the defense's ass, and they better get this friggin' ball back to us. Thankfully, they did. I think the Ravens got either one or two first downs. I think it may have been one. And then we got the ball back, and we're driving again, and I thought we were screwed when we were at a fourth down, and May had a needle thread of a pass to Diggs. I thought I was going to get swatted away, which we should have been at the goal line anyway because they missed a horrible, ridiculous, inexcusable non-DPI calling booty. He's literally getting tackled as he's trying to get the ball. Friggin' absolutely ridiculous that they missed that. Booty, he almost had it anyway. It looked like I don't know if he got concussed, but he definitely got his bell run on that play. Banged his head against the turf. I mean, that's actually one thing from this game I'm concerned about. About half our friggin' team got injured in this game, for Christ's sake. The amount of injuries we had in this game was absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, we worked we worked the ball down to the red zone. Stevenson punches it in. We're up 4. And then my guy, Chason, I've been a big Chason guy the whole year. He forces a fumble on Zay Flowers from behind. Zay Flowers had some very unfortunate fumbles in his career. And we recover it a couple first downs later. 2 first downs later, we win the game. We come back from down 11 in the fourth quarter. So I was ecstatic. The vibes when we were down 11 in the fourth quarter, at least for me, were not good. Obviously, as I mentioned, we came off the blown game last week against Buffalo, so the vibes going into the game were kind of down already by default. And then down 11 to, yes, it's the Ravens, but they've struggled pretty much the whole year. They were sitting at 500 entering this game. Obviously, a game below now that we won, but they were at 500, and we were down 11 to them in the fourth quarter. So vibes are not good. I was not feeling too good about it. And then again, that touchdown drive, May seemed early on. Chris Collinsworth talked about it in the broadcast. Chris Collinsworth gets shit on a lot, but he summarized it pretty well. May had a couple of throws that, even if they were caught, maybe they were a bit high or off target, like a bit risky with the placement. So I don't know. Maybe May was a bit nervous or something you can say for the game. But when we were down 11, those 2 drives, I don't think I've ever seen May as locked in as he was for those 2 drives. He was locked in a complete zone, especially the second drive when we were down 4, we were down 3. We because we were down 11 when we got the touchdown, we went for two and got it to Stevenson. So when we were down 3, May was just heaving it, and then he just heaved it to Booty just effortlessly the way he threw it. And again, that should have been DPI. Absolutely ridiculous that it wasn't. But I've never seen May that locked in. He certainly reestablished his case for the MVP. Stafford probably still will get it, 'cause even though he lost, he played a hell of a game against Seattle on Thursday. So Stafford, it's still his award to lose, but May certainly established, or both not established, reestablished his case for the award in this game. And we play the Jets, who it looks like they might be led by Brady Cook going into that game next week. And then we play the Dolphins week 18, they're going to be led by Quinn Ewers. So I'm gonna have to imagine we win those two games and we finish 14-3, give ourselves a chance at the 1 seed. Maybe we're locked in to our seed entering week 18. Yeah, that could be a possibility, but I think we'd have to. Actually, well, the Jaguars, I think, are only a game back of us, so I'm not sure off the top of my head who they play this week, but there probably is a scenario where maybe the rest of our guys were locked into seeding week 18, but I don't think that'll happen because at least with Jacksonville being a game behind, if they win, I think they have the tiebreaker over us. They have less AFC losses, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. I'm just over the moon about the comeback. Oh my God, I was up till like 2 in the morning. Just scrolling through social media, looking at the Pats fan pages, making comments, talking with fans, all that good stuff. And then I'd get up at like 6 for work, so that kind of sucked, but I'm used to it at this point. Yeah, I'm just over the moon ecstatic. Yeah, I'll go through the stats here, then talk a bit more about the game. So, yeah, May, as I mentioned, he was absolutely phenomenal. May, he got his 300 plus passing yard game. He would have had 400. Again, a Booty either caught that or, well, they called DPI. Obviously, it wouldn't have counted for passing yards, but should have had it still. But May got his 300 plus passing yard game damn close to 400 passing yards. The interception, that was a killer for our first drive. He had a fumble too that was not ideal, but besides that, May played phenomenal. Marte Mapu, the reason he's on here is because we very questionably ran a fake punt like around, I think, what was it, around, we were at like our 40 or 45, or maybe I think we were at like the 45, our own 45, somewhere around there on the field roughly. And we ran a fake punt, and it got blown up, and it looked like Mapu wanted to pass. It was the intention, but it just was covered, so he had to take it, and he got like a yard, and he fumbled it. I don't know if we recovered it, honestly, or Baltimore did, but regardless, they would have got the ball where it was anyway. It didn't matter. But there was a sequence during the game where it looked like we were gonna maybe fake the punt, and then what we were looking for wasn't there, so we audibled out of it, and then we got to delay a game. They did a good job highlighting that in the broadcast. So maybe we saw what we were looking for when we faked the punt. Okay, how do I phrase it? Maybe we saw what we wanted to see when we were initially going to fake the punt. We saw it there, and we went for it, and obviously it didn't work out. So Baltimore, I'm sure they keyed in on, hey, they may have faked the punt. So, be aware of that. Let's give them the look that they were trying to look for and then, cover it up. So that John Harbaugh is a special teams guy. Maybe he took note of that, even though John Harbaugh is getting ripped to shreds after this game, probably rightfully so. Rushing, Henderson got dinged up pretty early on, like in the second quarter, I want to say, so he unfortunately didn't really do too much in this game. May had a scramble to ice the game on a QB keeper. Stevenson, we only ran it 8 times, but he did pretty solid rushing. Had a couple nice receptions too. Had the touchdown run actually the game-winning touchdown run. Diggs had a big game. He's been a bit quiet lately, so he had a monster game. Primetime Diggs. Matt Collins had a big game. Diggs and Matt Collins both had two big third down receptions. My God, Diggs had that fourth down reception. Kyle Williams had that deep ball. That was fantastic. Hunter Henry had a pretty solid game. He's been a bit quiet too. It's felt like he had a touchdown. Should have had two, but he dropped one on our opening drive. Booty, he only had one catch. It was a nice catch. Pop Douglas got hurt, one of 500 injuries we had this game. Then Henderson, I mentioned, he got hurt. And Stevenson had two catches. One of them he made some guys miss, and we got a first down. So that was nice. Lamar got hurt. He came out of the game toward the end of the second quarter. Snoop Huntley played fine in this game. He only had one incompletion. He played fine in this game. Lamar was playing pretty solid up until he got hurt. Derrick Henry hit a good game. He was not in the game after the touchdown drive, so, or at least they didn't hand it off to him after that. So John Harbaugh getting a lot of criticism for that. Yeah, Zay Flowers had a rushing touchdown. That was what really pissed me off. That was when the vibes were down. Yeah, Zay Flowers was their leading receiver. He, unfortunately for him, though, had that big fumble. D-Hop had a couple nice sideline catches. Then not too much from the receivers there. You look at the team stats here. Yeah, pretty close in a lot of them, but we outdid them in most of them. We had more total yards by over 100. We more than doubled their passing yardage. Rushing yards, they killed us. They had almost over 100 more than us. Yards per play pretty close. We had 0.3 more. We had 6 more first downs. We were only 33% on third down. They were unstoppable on third down. We kept blitzing on third down, and they kept getting it. It was starting to really annoy me. We were 2 or 3 on fourth down, though. The one we didn't get was the fake punt. Had 17 more plays than them. Time possession was pretty close to even here. We only had the ball for about 3 more minutes than they did. 4, I guess, would be a round up here. They had more tackle. Yeah, field goals. Loop missed one in the third quarter. It was short. Yeah, then red zone, we were only 1 of 3. They were 2 of 3. So, yeah, close in a lot of these stats. Again, they should have had a lot more penalty yardage. They called DPI. Thank God we won. Otherwise, I would have been even more pissed. But, yeah, this was a phenomenal win. If we had lost this game, especially if we're down 11 and we just are dead in the water the rest of the game, we lose by 11 or so, just the vibes would not have been good. So for us to pull off that comeback in the way we did was absolutely insane. Just that May to Williams touchdown, we had all the momentum after that. There was just a different vibe. We ended up winning the game, getting things to go for us. It was phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. This thumbnail is actually a good picture of the May to Kyle Williams touchdown. Just absolute dime. Drake May was in the zone. Perfect experience for a potential playoff scenario. We're on the road, have all the momentum going against us. Vibes are down. This is exactly what we needed. We haven't had a game like this where we've come back this year in this fashion. So this is going to be greatly beneficial for us, I believe. And yeah, this is just phenomenal. Very happy with the win here. Now, again, hopefully we can finish 14-3. Denver got upset by the Jaguars yesterday, so we're tied with them record-wise to the 1 seed. They have the tiebreaker over us. That freaking loss to the Raiders is worse and worse every week. But there is a decent chance we still get it. Now, Denver plays the Chiefs on Christmas. You're going to have to imagine Denver wins that game with the Chiefs not having a quarterback. But then they play the Chargers week 18. Maybe it'll be a Christmas miracle. I'm going to have to root for the Chiefs on Christmas, which is going to be extremely weird. So I obviously root against them literally every single week unless it somehow benefits the Patriots. Even though I was rooting against them when it would have benefited us if they beat Denver earlier in the regular season because I hate the Chiefs so much. But now I'm going to have to pull for the Chiefs on Christmas. But yeah, then they play the Chargers week 18. So if they lose 1 and we win 2, our last 2, we'll have the 1 seed. So we're right back in the 1 seed race. Thank you, Jaguars. The Jaguars technically still have a chance at it, but I I don't think we're gonna lose to either the Jets or Dolphins, although who the hell knows. But yeah, very sad from this win. Oh my god, I predicted 11-6 and thought that was bold. We already have 12 wins and 2 to go. And again, you imagine at worst case scenario, we'll at least win one of them. So, yep, thought maybe I was a bit too optimistic, and we're going to even overexceed my expectations. And for the playoffs, who the hell knows what we can do? The AFC's wide open. If we were to make a run to the Super Bowl, would not surprise me. Who the hell knows at this point, especially the way this season has gone. But yep, I will wrap this video up here. Gonna have to do some very last minute Christmas shopping. The mall is probably going to be an absolute shit show. Probably, well, I am an idiot for waiting this long, but I'm a very last minute person, but that's okay. But anyway, I will wrap this video up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in. Take it easy, and as always, go Pats.